She cried after cheating on her husband with me. I didn't even know she was married. Yeah, so this feels like a fever dream I can't wake up from. I met this woman, Lila, at a small art show a few months ago. One of those weirdly cinematic moments where everything just clicks. We talked for hours about everything. Music, family, our worst dates, dreams we forgot we had. Felt effortless. Real. She looked at me like she already knew me. That kind of connection that makes your stomach do flips even when nothing's happening. We kept seeing each other. First coffee, then dinner, then a walk that turned into a long night on a park bench talking until sunrise. She told me she hadn't felt this alive in years. That being with me felt like coming up for air. I was falling fast. And it wasn't just lust, it felt like soul-level stuff. I've dated a bit, had situationships, but nothing like this. It was like every version of me that I tried to quiet down suddenly had permission to exist around her. Then we slept together. And yeah, it was intense. But it wasn't just the sex. Afterward, she curled into me and started crying. Softly. Not like sobbing, more like something cracked open inside her. I asked if she was okay and she whispered, "I've never felt this safe before." I remember holding her and feeling like, damn, this might be it. A few days later, we're lying on my couch. She's tracing shapes on my hand and out of nowhere she says, "When the divorce is final, I want to go somewhere with you. Like Greece or something. Just us." I sat up confused. Divorce? She paused, then added super casually, "Oh yeah, me and my husband are basically done. It's just paperwork now." I didn't even know she had a husband. I asked why she never mentioned it. She said it didn't feel relevant because they were already over. Said they hadn't slept together in over a year. That she'd mentally checked out long before we met. She told me she cried that night with me because it was the moment she realized she couldn't go back to her old life. That she wanted to choose herself now. That she wanted me. I just sat there stunned, trying to figure out what the hell I'd just gotten pulled into. I didn't sign up to be someone's affair. But she swears I wasn't. Says I'm her fresh start. But all I can think is, what if I wasn't someone she fell for? What if I was just her escape route? After that couch conversation, I couldn't sleep for days. Every time I closed my eyes, I'd replay everything. Her words. Her timing. The fact that she told me after we slept together. Like it was a footnote in some emotional disclaimer I never signed up for. And the messed up part? A big part of me still wanted her. I tried to act normal when we talked, but something shifted. I kept replaying little things she said before. The way she used phrases like used to or back when I lived with him, except I realized now she never clarified if they were still living together. So I asked her, straight up, "Are you still living with your husband?" Long pause. Then she says, "Well, technically yes. But we're sleeping in separate rooms. And I'm not there much. I usually stay at my sister's." Man, I felt like someone just knocked the wind out of me. Technically yes? That's not something you tiptoe around. I told her that. I said I felt blindsided. Like I got dropped into chapter 9 of a book I didn't know I was reading. She teared up and said, "I didn't mean to lie. I just didn't want to scare you away. You made me feel something I thought I'd lost for good." It's like she keeps saying the perfect emotional lines, but none of them fix the fact that I was with someone else's wife. Doesn't matter how dead she says the marriage was, she hadn't told him about me, hadn't moved out officially, hadn't filed anything. But she had slept with me. She started calling it fate. Said maybe this was how it was supposed to happen. That she was stuck for so long and meeting me finally shook her awake. She talks like we're some kind of star-crossed lovers in a tragic novel. But I'm not trying to be someone's emotional detour. I wanted something real. Clean. Honest. I told her I needed space to think. She said she understood, but then blew up my phone that same night. Said she couldn't stop thinking about me. That she'd sleep in her car if it meant she could prove she was serious. Now I'm stuck between wanting to believe her and wondering if I've already lost myself in something messy that's only going to hurt more the longer I stay. After that night, I didn't answer her calls or texts for a week. I needed space. Not the kind where you pretend you're figuring it out while still lurking on their socials. I mean full blackout. No texts. No Insta. I turned off read receipts. I was trying to breathe without hearing her voice echo in my head. And for a few days it worked. Until one night she shows up at my place. No warning. Just knocks on my door around 11 p.m. She looked like she'd been crying. Said she left her husband. Like actually left. Moved all her stuff out and was staying with her sister now. For real this time. She held up her phone and showed me a photo of the packed bags. A screenshot of a text she sent him saying it was over. Final. No more excuses. And for a second I felt something. Relief? Hope? I don't know. It was like part of me wanted to believe it could still turn into a clean story. That we could hit reset. She walked in without me saying anything. Just sat on my couch and started talking. Said the week without me made her realize she couldn't live in limbo anymore. That I was the person who reminded her who she really was. And I'll admit, hearing her say it so clearly, seeing how broken she looked, I caved. I held her. We kissed. We slept together again. And I wish I could say it felt right. But it didn't. Something was different this time. Like a piece of me had shifted. The next morning, I asked, "Does he know about me?" She hesitated. Said no. Said she'd rather tell him once the dust settled. that it would just make everything messier right now. I asked her why she left then. Was it because she truly wanted me, or just wanted out? She didn't answer, just hugged me tighter and whispered, "Can it be both?" I don't know, man. I keep telling myself people are messy, that endings are never clean. But I also can't help but feel like I'm playing boyfriend to someone who still hasn't even finished being a wife. She swears this is real, that I'm her future. But I'm starting to wonder if I'm just the rebound she put on a pedestal because I smiled at her while her world was falling apart. So, remember how she said she was going to tell him eventually? Yeah, she didn't. He found out anyway. I don't know the full story, but apparently her husband saw us together. At a coffee shop. We weren't even doing anything wild, just sitting across from each other, laughing, kind of leaned in close. But I guess that was enough. 2 days later, she calls me at 6 a.m. Voice shaking. Says he knows everything. Not because she told him, because her sister did. Turns out her sister was pissed that Lila kept putting off officially ending things and thought I deserved to know what I was getting into. So she told him about me, the affair, everything. Lila was in full panic mode. Said he came to her sister's place, yelling, demanding answers. Said he called her a liar, a manipulator, asked if I was just some guy or if this was actually serious. She told him she loved me. That it wasn't just cheating, it was her finally choosing herself. And according to her, that's when he lost it. She swore he didn't hit her or anything, but he broke a picture frame and stormed out. Said he was going to make sure everyone knew what kind of person she really was. Next thing I know, he messages me. Found me on Facebook. Real simple message, "You knew she was married and still did this? You're trash." I didn't even respond. I couldn't. I just sat there staring at my phone like, is this really my life right now? I called Lila. Told her I needed to know the whole truth. Had she really planned to leave him? Or did she just get caught and scramble? She swore she was going to tell him. That she didn't expect it to blow up like this. That everything was just moving too fast and she was scared. I told her I was scared too. That I never wanted to be the other guy. That I wanted something real. Something that didn't feel like I stole it out from someone else's hands. She started crying. Again. Said she didn't mean for any of this to happen. Said she wishes she met me before she ever got married. That I made her feel alive in a way he never did. But I don't know what's real anymore. Her words feel so heavy, but her choices, they keep dragging me deeper into chaos I didn't ask for. I think I love her. But I'm starting to hate what loving her is doing to me. Things got quiet after her husband messaged me. No threats, no follow-ups. Just silence. But Lila, she spiraled. She started texting nonstop. Voice notes, late-night calls, showing up at my apartment without warning. She kept saying she needed me. That everything was falling apart and I was the only good thing left in her life. I should have been flattered. Instead, I felt trapped. I remember this one night, maybe a week after the fallout. I had just gotten home from work exhausted. She was already outside, sitting on my doorstep like some scene out of a sad indie film. Eyes red. Hoodie on. She looked broken. I let her in. Made us tea. Sat on opposite sides of the couch. And she says, "I've been thinking, maybe I should go to therapy. Try to figure out why I let things get so messy." I nodded. Honestly, I was relieved to hear it. But then she said, "Will you come with me?" As my support. That's when it hit me. She didn't want to heal, she wanted me to fix her. To hold her together while she crumbled in every direction. And I was already exhausted from trying to untangle someone else's knots. I told her I cared. A lot. But I couldn't be her lifeline. That she needed to figure herself out, not just jump from one broken thing to another hoping love would patch the holes. She didn't take it well. She accused me of abandoning her. Said I used her. That I pretended to be the good guy, but when things got hard, I ran like everyone else. That one stung. Because deep down I was running. Not because I didn't care, but because I cared too much and it was starting to ruin me. I didn't sleep that night. Kept staring at the ceiling wondering how we got here. From passionate electric moments to me flinching every time her name lit up my screen. Was this love? Or just adrenaline? Was I the reason she left, or just the excuse? Every part of me wanted to hold on to what we had before I knew the truth. But what we had now? It felt more like survival than romance. And maybe that's what finally broke me. A few days after the therapy conversation, I told her we needed to talk. For real this time. No sugarcoating, no romantic metaphors, no crying into my hoodie. Just the truth, plain and brutal. We met at this park by her sister's house. Neutral ground. Public. Less likely to erupt. She showed up in this oversized flannel and no makeup. Looking like she hadn't slept in days. No theatrics this time, just her, quiet. Worn down. I didn't dance around it. I told her, "I don't think we're right for each other. Not now. Maybe not ever." She didn't cry. That was the weird part. She just looked at me for the longest time, then nodded like she'd already played the scene in her head 1,000 times. Like she'd known it was coming, just hoped maybe the script would change. Then she said, "I know I ruined it. I just didn't want to lose you too." That too hit harder than I expected. I asked her if she regretted it all. Leaving him, choosing me, detonating her whole life in one go. She shook her head. "No, I regret how I did it. But not that I did it." I didn't have a reply for that. Because honestly, same. We sat on that bench for maybe 20 minutes without talking. Just breathing in the mess we'd made together. No fixing it. No patching things up. Just silence. When she stood up to leave, she hugged me. One of those long, heavy hugs that says goodbye in a way words can't. Then she kissed me on the cheek and whispered, "Thank you for showing me what I forgot I could feel." And just like that, she walked away. I haven't heard from her since. No texts. No updates. It's like she ghosted the version of herself that existed with me and started over somewhere else. Sometimes I wonder if she's doing better. If she actually went to therapy. If she found peace. Or if she found someone new to run toward. And sometimes I wonder if I was just the catalyst. The guy you fall for when your life's on fire. Not because he's your forever, but because he's the closest door to escape through. I don't think she was evil. I don't even think she meant to hurt anyone. I think she was drowning and I look like air. And now I'm just learning how to breathe again.